After the success of the TV series Bridgerton made available by Netflix, many have wondered if it was all fiction or if there was something true. Well, yes, today I'm going to tell you about her. Yes, her, Queen Charlotte. How much truth is there in Bridgerton's story? Who was the real Queen Charlotte? First of all, it should be clarified that the series is based on the novels of Julia Quinn, in which the author focuses in each book on a member of the Bridgerton family. Everything else takes a back seat. Sophia Charlotte of Mecklenburg-Strelitz was born on 19 May 1744. She was the youngest daughter of Duke Charles Louis Frederick of Mecklenburg and his wife, Princess Elizabeth Albertine of Saxe-Hildburghausen. All her ancestors were princes, dukes, and counts, but there were no kings among them. The children of the Duke Charles were all born at the Lower Castle in Miro, a modest palace more like a country house than a princely residence. However, Charlotte received an excellent education, and among her teachers was the poetess known as the Sappho of Germany. She soon learned several languages and was educated in sciences, arts, and home economics. She became a lively letter writer. Charlotte wrote a letter to the King of Prussia in which she lamented the conduct of the Prussian army in Mecklenburg. It became so famous that it was printed and attracted the attention of George III to her. She joined the British royal family at a very prosperous time when Britain was prospering from the wealth accumulated through the slave trade and the colonies established overseas. In 1761 she left Germany to go to London, where she married King George III, who was then 22. Charlotte was not very beautiful. Her face, known for being dull, was nevertheless very expressive, and showed extreme intelligence. Upon the wedding day, Charlotte spoke no English. However, she quickly learned the language with a strong German accent. One observer commented, "She's timid at first, but talks a lot when she's among people she knows." The doctor of King Leopold I of Belgium, who had seen her in London already old, had said that she was small and deformed, with a real mulatto face. While the Scottish poet and writer Walter Scott had written that her family had a strange colour and appearance of an orangutan, with black eyes and an aquiline nose. Charlotte's marriage was happy, and apparently the king was not unfaithful to her. They had 15 children. Charlotte had a very special relationship with her daughters, and she struggled to allow them to marry. Many of them married in old age or did not marry at all. For the Queen, the education of women was very important. Her daughters were more educated than the young women of the time. Over time, she managed to attain considerable power in her realm, yet she never abused it. The Queen was a patroness of the arts and met, among others, Bach and Mozart, who was 8 at the time and who dedicated her Opus 3. She also had a passion for botany, and she founded the royal gardens at Kew. At the beginning of his dementia, George III was placed in the care of his wife, who, however, could not visit him frequently, due to the unpredictable behavior of the sovereign and his occasional violent reactions. Charlotte continued to support her husband. While her son, the Prince Regent, held royal power, she became the legal guardian of her consort from 1811 until 17 November 1818, the year in which she died at the age of 74. Her husband died a year later. It seems that she was among the consorts of monarch who held the position the longest. To overcome her is Prince Philip, husband of the current sovereign, Queen Elizabeth II. Queen Charlotte and Queen Marie Antoinette of France maintain a close relationship. They share many interests, like music and art. They never met in person. But what is true about Bridgerton? Many of the peculiarities staged in Bridgerton correspond to reality, starting with tobacco, which the Queen used. In a scene at the palace, Queen Charlotte tells Lady Violet Bridgerton that she had met Mozart, as evidenced by the testimonies of the time. Also in the series, she is seen at the table with her husband, who talks about her love for botany. Once again, this detail is true. King George and his wife lead separate lives in Bridgerton due to the sovereign's precarious mental condition, and once again, this is true. In one scene where Queen Charlotte is with her husband at the table, reference is made to a certain Amelia. Amelia was the last daughter of King George and Queen Charlotte, who died at the age of 27. King George was very attached to Amelia, and her death led the king's illness to worsen. Before her death, Amelia gave her father a ring containing a lock of her hair. It is also believed that the woman boasts mixed ancestry with an African-American branch coming from the Portuguese ruling family, particularly in the person of Margarita de Castro y Sousa. She, in turn, is a descendant of a lover of the sovereign Afonso III, who had North African origins. Queen Charlotte is now considered by many to be the first person of African descent to belong to the British royal family. Nonetheless, some historians argue that the centuries passed between the birth of Queen Charlotte and the time when her alleged African ancestors lived make this reconstruction unreliable. Furthermore, according to other theories, the first person of the royal family to have African origins was Philippa of Hainault, the wife of Edward III of England, who reigned from 1327 to 1377. In all these years, the mystery has never been solved. From Buckingham Palace came only denials to the circumstances that could suggest the African descent of Queen Charlotte. It is likely that this mystery is destined to remain unsolved forever, but Bridgerton allows us at least to get to know an historical figure of great importance who has never really been talked about.